Welcome everybody to today's webinar about the new TriCaster TC1. The TC1 was the big hit of the NAB show. If you were at the NAB show, TriCaster was everywhere, NDI was everywhere. They actually had the NAB show floor lit up where people who were running NDI and other booths were able to be seen and accessed from the TriCaster TC1s running in the NewTek booth. It was really that amazing. Well, one of the things that NewTek talked about a lot during the TC1 launch was a trade-in program. So we're going to focus on that trade-in program today. But before we talk about the trade-in, let's talk about what really makes the TC1 so amazing. The TC1 is the new evolution of TriCaster. There's two versions. There's a TC1 2RU unit, and there's a TC1 3RU unit that also includes a redundant power supply. It's $14,995 for the base unit or $1995 for the bigger product. It's $5,000 for a power supply, a redundancy, but if your customer needs it, he's not going to buy a unit that doesn't have it. So that's really where you have to position it. We're really excited. This rolls up all the technology. It is an NDI-based TriCaster system. You're going to get 16 inputs. You can get 4K 60p. We're going to talk about the specific features a little bit later. Let's talk a little bit more about the actual promotion. The trade-in. NewTek's shown you what the trade-in is, and it's up to $7,000, but they've been kind of vague about what the specifics are. Of course, the details you can get in Channeltivity by downloading the price sheets, but we want to do this webinar to really let you see what customers you can go for, what the targets are, what the kind of money they're talking about, because it's pretty significant what they're giving here, and it's real exciting. So let's roll into that. And once again, these are special extra high trade-in values. They're not the normal trade-in values. They're accelerated by about 50%. So this is till June 23rd, 2017. If your customers decide to purchase later, they're not going to get this full value. All right, the TC1 3RU unit, think of that as the replacement for the 8000 family of products. And here's your trade-in screen. You're going to see that you're going to get up to $7,000 for your customers. So if your customer's got a TC8000 or an 860 or an 855, an 850 Extreme or an original 850, then you get $7,000 off on a TC1R. Now that's pretty amazing. You know, that's $7,000 for a TC850. That piece of gear could be 5-6 years old. And that's what I really want to stress here. You gotta reach out to your customers. You want to know what your customers are, what they bought, and you want to target them specifically with this trade-in, the trade-in value. Of course, the trade-in value is just a piece of this equation. The real key here is the TC1 and all its NDI 4K glory. But if you look at that, $7,000 for your end user. Next, we have the base TC1, which think of that as replacing the 460 part of the product line. It's a 2RU unit. And look at this spreadsheet. $3,000 for a TC460 towards a TC1 or $5,000 towards the redundant unit, the 3RU unit. Once again, run down the list. The 460, the 455, the 450 Extreme, and the 450, all giving you $3,000 off on the TC1. The TC1 is a base $15,000 model. That's 20% off. That's a $3,000 return on technology that once again could be 4 or 5 years old. If the guy's got a 410, probably bought that for about 10 grand, he's going to get $2,250. That's almost 25%. This is a tremendous program. And of course it gets even better. Why? Because the Mini is included on the deal as well. We like to tell people, don't think of the Mini as being your best TriCaster purchase. Think of it being your first TriCaster purchase. And you should think of that as well. A lot of the TC Mini sales went to schools, went to churches. Those are people who've now been using it for a couple of years, and maybe they've grown and their system has grown. So reach out to those people with your Mini users. $2,250 for an SDI Mini, $1,750 for a TC Mini. Remember, some of those Minis with a $6,000 piece, you're giving a guy $1,750 for something that he's been using for a couple of years successfully. It's a great promotion. We're super excited about it, and we really think it's a great opportunity for you to reach out to all the customers who bought Minis before and talk to them about this great new technology, because once again, you might be starting with a Mini, but you're going to be aspiring to a TC1. It's really that great a product. There's more, because it's NewTek. Of course, they're going to include a whole host of older products as well. So we've got TC300 $1,750, TC40 $1,750, the old TC Broadcast and Studio, that's over 5 years old, $1,500. $1,500 for a TC Pro, a TC100, or a TC Duo. Go through your customer list. Reach out to all your customers. Anyone you've sold a TriCaster to, you've got to be pitching the new TC1, and you've got to be letting them know about these amazing savings that they can be offered. NewTek does this, and when they do these deals, you've got to jump on them. They are very loyal to their loyal customers, and this is a great opportunity for you to reach out, touch your customers, and close a whole lot of TC1 sales. Of course, the TC1s are available on their own, but they're also available in some very special, very cool bundles that we've talked to you about before. But you basically, TC1 base bundle gets you the TC1 plus the smaller control surface. That's the control surface that plugs in via USB. TCB1 Plus bundle is $24.95. It gives you the TC1RU, the 3RU model. It gives you the small controller, and it gives you a 16 input 4 SDI module. We'll go into the modules a little later once again. And then once again, the big bundle, the max bundle at $39.95, that's really the replacement for the TC8000. That's a TC1 3RU. It's the large control surface, which now connects via Ethernet versus USB. It gives you the NC-IO module as well. Very, very cool. All right. We're going to check out a video now, and we're going to show you some of the new features. This is from the NAB floor with Chris Burgos, and we interviewed him on the floor at NAB, and he's going to tell us a little bit more about the TC1 and some of the cool new features that weren't available before.
What we have new is 2 built-in channels of Skype TX. If you guys aren't familiar with Skype TX, it's a partnership with Windows and 3 companies. NewTek is the only company in the United States that integrates Skype TX. We used to make a product called the Talk Show. Now it's built into your switcher. So if you want to get those external Skype calls in with your production, it's just a few clicks of a button. Also, we have now 2 stream encoders. I can make 2 shows go to 2 different destinations. So the TriCaster TC1 gives you a lot of power and leverages a lot of cool features. What makes it all possible is our IP protocol NDI. All of my sources here are actually not connected over SDI cables. So we're talking about the future, but today. Full IP workflows, which allows us to do 4K 60, allows us to be interconnected. And here at the booth at large, every single other system can grab my output. They can take one of my inputs. And all throughout the floor at large, there are other people leveraging NDI.
All right, we're back. Let's talk about the trade-up a little bit. We said, hey, we know the TC1's great, but we're going to give you a list of 10 top reasons to go right to your customers, talking points for you to go after these sales. Top 10 reasons to trade up to a NewTek TriCaster TC1. Reason number 1, more inputs than a TriCaster 8000. A TriCaster 8000 has 8 inputs. The TC1 has 16 total inputs. It comes with 4 SDI inputs. It also allows you to take up to 16 total inputs. Those could be SDI or NDI. There's upgrade modules you can buy that'll give you 4 inputs or 8 inputs, so you can get up to 12 SDI inputs. It's a tremendous value. If you can scale this thing up, it's beautiful. All right, 4K at 60p. There's 4K and there's 4K the right way at 60p, and that's what the TriCaster TC1 is delivering. Not everyone's 4K yet, and that's why the TC1 is so spectacular, because it allows your customer to migrate to 4K as they need to. It allows you to gang the 4 inputs together or the 4 outputs together to make a single quad 4K in or out. Plus remember, through NDI, each NDI input can be a single 4K input as well. So it's highly scalable. It's going to give you 4K UHD 2160p60 video. That's just tremendous. NewTek doesn't do things halfway. This is NDI 4K the way it should be. All right, Skype TX. You guys are dealers. You know about the talk show product, big hit, big product, allowed you to bring in Skype TX technology to bring in remote guests into your program. Well, guess what? Skype TX technology is built into the TC1 now. You get 2 talk show equivalent inputs, 2 Skype inputs with your TC1. That's phenomenal. You get integrated video servers for playback, replay, and live editing, 2 of them. Dual streaming simultaneously, 2 different CDNs or 2 different formats. That's real important. Remember, Facebook is more vertical format for mobile. You also have your widescreen format, your high resolution format. You can actually create the same show for 2 different mediums. So you can have the full high res 1080p or even 4K, YouTube Live or whatever you're going out on. And then you can also create a vertical or a smaller boxed version of your video for Facebook or for mobile. So that's very, very cool. And as more people watch more video on devices, it's going to become an even bigger feature for your customers. Social media integration with data link. You can seamlessly integrate with Twitter, with Facebook, with LinkedIn. It's a full integration that gives you not just the ability to go straight to those services, but to also get the feedback that people are giving on those services and work them into your program. I talked about this a little bit. The expandable NewTek Connect products. Well, we've known about the NC input, 4-channel input device that we've had kind of for a year now. It was part of the IP series. It gives you 4 inputs for $59.95. But the one that I'm really excited about is the Studio NC-IO. That gives you 8 channels, 8 SDI spigots that can be configured in any combination. It could be 6 in, 2 out. It could be 2 gangs of 4 for input. It could be 1 gang of 4 for 4K input, 1 gang of 4 for 4K output. It's $99.95. You put it together with your TC1, either the base unit or the 3RU unit, and now you're talking about 12 SDI spigots. All right, next is the new control panel. Just to let you know, the short control panel is pretty similar to the TC460, and if your customer already has a TC460 control surface, you can actually use that with the TC1. A few of the buttons need to be remapped, but it's, let's say, 90% the same panel. But the new LP panel is very new. It's kind of similar to the 8000, but it brings in Ethernet connectivity, which we've had a lot of people saying they really want. The USB is fine, but you're limited by the connection and the distance from the machine. With the new LP version, it's going to give you the ability to connect via Ethernet, and we're really excited about that. Number 9, it's completely flexible and expandable with NewTek NDI. This isn't something that's having NDI added. NDI is at the core DNA of this product. It is an NDI TriCaster from the ground up that fully takes advantage of all the things that NDI brings to the world. And you know, if you've seen some interviews with Dr. Cross talking about this is more than just a fancy new motherboard or I/O card. They've actually re-engineered the PCI pipelines within this thing to enable you to get up to 16 channels of HD footage or 4K footage. Just incredible and remarkable. Finally, reason number 10, the whole reason we're having this webinar, the trade-in credits. It's a huge way for your customers to be able to save a good chunk of cash on what they're doing. We even put together this trade-in matrix. You know, like I said, you can get the trade-ins from connectivity, from channeltivity through NewTek, but we put together this list. It's really easy. It's going to show you as a dealer, your end user, what the end user gets and what the rebate you get on the product as well. So we put that together for you, and we can email that to you. Just call your salesperson, call Rich, call Dan, call Angel, call John. They'll be happy to shoot that out to you. All right, that wraps up our webinar today on the NewTek TriCaster TC1 Trade-In program. We think it's real exciting. The TC1 was the hit of NAB 2017. You're a TriCaster dealer. This is going to be something you've got to reach out to your existing customers and sell. It's a great opportunity to touch them, to sell, to expand, to get more business. If you're not a TriCaster dealer, you need to call Broadfield Distributing and find out what it takes to get authorized, because the TriCaster TC1 is revolutionary, evolutionary. It is exploding the industry. 4K, P60, the right way it's supposed to be, 16 inputs on a switcher that's coming at you for under $20,000. Just incredible. So this is Gary for Broadfield Distributing. Thank you. Have a good one and good selling.